In this video, I'm going to teach you the first step in our reduction method, which is to solve the centerpieces of our 5x5 cube. So we've got a scrambled 5x5 cube. Let's figure out how to solve it. So as I mentioned in the previous video, the first step in solving our 5x5 cube using the reduction method is to solve all of the centerpieces around the whole cube. So on a 4x4 cube, the centerpieces were a 2x2 block. Here on the 5x5, they'll end up being a 3x3 block around the middle center. And remember, the middle centers denote the color of each side. So these centers are fixed in relation to one another. So here, this will be the white side. And this is the side that we're going to start on. The way I'm going to teach you to solve the centers is to solve them in lines. So we're going to solve the first 1x3 line here in the middle, and then place two 1x3 lines on either side of it. So I'll show you how to do that now. So the first step is to make this middle 1x3 line, which is made up of the middle center and two edge centers. So let's find two white edge centers around the cube. So they're actually directly in front of us. So we've got this one and we've got this one. So to bring this one up to the top layer, we can simply do a wide R move like that. And then we want to place this one over here. So we can do something like this. So F prime moves this centerpiece from here to here. So remember, as I taught you in the 4x4 tutorials, turning the outer layers simply rotates the centers around one face, and then doing any wide turns will actually shift centers from one face to another face. So the outer layer turn there moves that one to there, and then doing the wide move like that brings it up to the top, and we've made our first 1x3 bar. To make our second 1x3 bar, we'll need to pair up two corner centers with one edge center. So here, this was made up of the middle one and then these two edge centers, but these other two are made up of two corner centers and an edge center. So let's keep it on top for the moment and look around the middle slice, so around here, for two corner centers and an edge center. So we've got this one, which is a white corner center, and we've got this one, which is a white edge center. We also got this one, which is a white corner center. So let's try and pair up this one, and this one. So firstly, let's add one corner center to this edge center here. So what we can do, how we can pair this one up with this one, is to do an F prime to move this one from here to here, and then do a wide D move like that. So the F prime moves this one from the fourth layer from the bottom to the third layer from the bottom, and then this one is at the second layer from the bottom. So doing a wide D move like that just shifts it across, doesn't affect this one, and now these two are paired up. And now we need to figure out how to pair up these two with this corner center. So there are a few different ways we can actually make this 1x3 bar by pairing up these two pieces with this corner piece. So what I would prefer to do in this situation is just do a wide U or a wide U prime to move this corner center away from this face into either the left or the right face. So in this case, I'll do a wide U prime like that. And now here, I'm free to actually rotate this white center around the right face by using the outer layer, so to put it into a position where if I rotate it back, then it'll form this 1x3 bar. So as we can see here, this red piece, if I do a wide U, moves from this position to that position, just around the second layer from the top there. So if I can put this white piece into where this red piece is, like that, and then do a wide U, like so, that pairs them all up. So placing this one again from that layer, the second layer from the bottom to the second layer from the top using an R, and then doing a wide U move like that makes this 1x3 block. And then all we need to do to put it into the top layer is just do a wide move like that. So after building this line and building this line, we need to find the last three white centerpieces so that we can put them up here and attach them to this block. So again, it's going to be two corner centers and one edge center. So the two corner centers are actually here in the front layer after we solve this one. And our edge center is over here in the back. So we need to figure out how we're going to pair up this edge center with these two corner centers. And I like to think of it the way I like to think of it is you bring the corner centers over to the edge center rather than the other way. The reason for that is using these sort of M moves to move edge centers can be quite annoying or a little bit more difficult, I think, for beginners. So it's easier to think about it in terms of bringing the corner centers over to the edge center. So here, we've got these two already in line. And if we do an R move like that, then we can actually use our wide moves to move these two over to these two positions. So moving this one up into the third layer, the middle layer here, we can do U2 and D2 like that to form this 1x3 block. And then all we need to do to put it in the top layer is do U2 and then a wide L prime like that. And now we've solved our first white center. So after solving the white center, what we want to do is actually place it on the bottom layer and then work on the center which is directly opposite it. So in this case, we're solving the yellow center next. And we're going to do the same sort of thing. So build the first 1x3 bar in the middle and then attach the two other 1x3 bars around it. So here we have our two edge centers on the front face. So what we can do is actually place them in by doing R, U, R prime, like that. So what I did was I rotated the front face so that I could put this one in first, and then I need to figure out how to put this one in but opposite this one. So I need to put this into this position. So what I can do is do a U prime and then L prime, and then obviously when I did that I broke up the first center, so I need to do wide L prime and then do a U to adjust it out of the way and then bring down these white centerpieces. So when we're solving this, when we're solving the yellow center, we need to keep this white center in mind so as not to mess it up. So the next thing to do is find two yellow corner centers and one yellow edge center to build the next 1x3 block. So we can look around this middle layer here just to see what's already solved, and we find that we've already got these two attached to one another. So we've got this edge center and this corner center. So what we need to do now is find another corner center and put it in this position. So looking on the right hand face, we've got this one, and to put it in here, to connect it up with these two, what we can do is bring it down into the bottom layer. So it's already in this second layer from the bottom. So when I do a D prime like that, a wide D prime, it'll move to this layer or this face, but it's in this position and we want it to be in this position. So what we can do is undo that, move it to this position here. So by doing an R prime and then do our D prime move like that, and that makes the 1x3 block. Now, obviously we can't just put it up like that because that breaks up our white center. So what we need to do is do an R like that, then do a U2, and then do a wide R prime to resolve this white center and make sure that we've got this block on top here. Next up, we need to solve the last 1x3 block. So let's look around for the remaining yellow centerpieces. So we've got these two, this edge center, this corner center, and the last corner center is over here. So what we can do to pair up this one with these two is do an R to put it into this position so that when we do a wide U move, it creates this 1x3 line. Now again, we can't just go L prime and break up our white center, so we need to figure out a way to put these pieces into here, into the yellow center, without messing up our white center. So we can do something like this. So we can do an F2 to bring these ones over here on the right hand side, and then replace these three with these three. Then we can do a U2 and bring it back down like that. So that solves our yellow center as well as keeps our white center intact. So after solving our first two centers, we're going to put them on the left and right hand side, and we're going to solve the last four centers around this middle layer. So what we're going to do is use wide turns like this, so wide R and L turns, as well as turns of the outer faces. So there's no need anymore to do any wide U moves, wide D moves, wide F moves, or wide B moves. All we're going to be doing is using the wide R and L layers. So again, we're going to build these centers 1x3 blocks. As you solve more of the centers, there'll be more lucky cases because there's less places for pieces to actually be as more of them get solved. So here we've got these two. So we've got this middle center paired up with this edge center. So we're going to solve the last edge center to attach it to this one to build a 1x3 block, and we're going to work on the orange center next. So bringing this one up to the top here makes this 1x3 line, and then what we can do is actually move it across like that so that it's easy for us to move, say, a 1x3 block like that up to the top layer. So once you build, I guess, a 1x3 line, make sure it's parallel with the M slice like this. Again, the next thing to do is build another 1x3 line. So we've got this corner center here, and we've got this edge center here. So what we can do very easily is just bring this one down using a wide R move, and now we need to find one more corner center to attach it to these two to build our 1x3 line. So let's find one. We've got one right here. So how do we move this up to here? We can do a wide move like that. So doing this move brings it up to this layer, but it doesn't bring it, it doesn't attach it to these two. So by doing this outer face move, and then doing a wide move like that, pairs up these three. So it was like this. So F and then wide L prime like that. Now we've got this line, we can just put it into the top here by doing an F prime. And then because this is the only center we're working on at the moment in our middle slice, in our middle layer, then we can just do a wide L prime like that and bring it straight up very easily. After we've solved this block, we need to find the last three orange centerpieces. So we've got this one here, which is a corner center, and then we've got these two here, which are the corner center attached to the edge center, which is a nice case. So what we're going to do is actually move this. So we need to figure out firstly how we're going to solve this one and attach it to these two and then put them into this, this right slot here. So we've got these two here and we've got this one down the bottom. Now there's a few things we could do to actually pair this one up with this one. So what I would prefer to do is do a U move here. So that brings these two over to this position and we have this R slice completely free. So this R slice at the moment won't change the position of these two centers, nor will it change what we've already solved here. So we can completely use this wide R slice to move centers from one face to another. So then we need to be able to put this center into a position whereby we can use the wide R slice and pair it up with these two. So let's check it out. So what we can do is put this directly opposite here. So we can put it down the bottom here so that when we do an R2 like that, so from this position up to this position, using a wide R2 pairs up these three pieces, and then all that we need to do to insert them is do a U prime and then do a wide R prime, like so. After we've solved the third center, we need to be a little bit more careful in our movements because we don't want to break up what we've already solved. So let's move on to the blue center. So let's find two blue edge center pieces, and we've got them here and here. So we can bring this one down, but we'll also need to move it out of the way before we move these two up. So bringing these down destroys this one, but then we can just do a rotation like that and bring it back up. And the same with this one. So we'll need to figure out a way to insert this edge opposite this one, and attach it to this center without breaking this up. So we can do a wide R move and then do one move like that. So now it's parallel with this middle slice, so rotations around here. And then when we do a wide R move like that, it doesn't affect these three centerpieces on the blue. So now we've got the 1x3 line on the blue. So next up, again, we need to build these 1x3 lines on either side of this middle one. So let's check out where the rest of our blue centers are. So we've got two here, and we've got the two corner pieces here. So let's firstly work on attaching this corner center to this block here. So what we can do is do a U prime, and now when we use our R slice, we can move pieces from this face to this face without upsetting what we've already solved here. So doing a U prime means we have this wide R slice free. So now what we can do is do an F, so that when we do a wide R, this blue centerpiece comes from the front face to the top face. So doing a wide R like that attaches this one to this one. So previously it was over here. Doing an F move moves that center from there to there. Then doing a wide R move, and then a U move, and then a wide R prime, attaches this to these two and brings it to the front face. So wide R, U, wide R prime does that. And the reason we do wide R, U, then wide R prime is because we need to preserve this orange center. So wide R actually breaks up this orange center. So we need to do a U and then restore it. Now we've got this 1x3 block on the front face. We need to put it into the front face, again, without destroying what we've already solved with the orange center. So we can do a wide R prime like that to pair up those two, move them across to the left-hand side, and then do a wide R to restore the orange center. So to finish off the blue center and make this 1x3 block, we need to attach this corner center to this 1x2 block with the edge center and the corner center there. So again, what we can do is actually mirror what we did on the left-hand side. So we can do a U move, which moves these two over here so that our left-hand slice is free and won't destroy anything here. And then we can bring this blue center up to here. So this blue center is already in the correct position such that when we do a wide L prime like that, it pairs up with these two. So we can do a wide L prime, and then we'll need to move it across so that when we bring it back down, we can resolve the orange center. So then now we've got these three here. What we can do to put these into the front face without messing up the orange center is doing an L move. So again, it's doing the sort of replacing trick. So you replace this 1x3 line with this 1x3 line, move it across by rotating the outer face. So that was an F2, and then a wide L prime solves the blue center. So now we've solved the white, the yellow, the orange, and the blue, and we only have two more centers to solve. So the way we solve the last center is just by focusing on the pieces of the front face, because if we solve all of the pieces correctly onto the front face, then the top face centers will be solved by default. So for example here, we've got all of these red pieces. If we solve all of the red center pieces, then the green ones will end up on the top by default if we don't mess up our orange and blue centers. So firstly, let's focus on making a 1x3 line down the middle here. So we've already got this one, and now we need to attach another edge center to it. So let's take this edge center. By doing a wide L, that brings this one to the position opposite this one. Then we need to do an F prime to move it here so that we can move this back out of the way like that. Now we've got this 1x3 line, and we need to attach another 1x3 line to it. So this one here, we've actually got this 1x3 line already solved on this top layer. So we can do a U, then a wide R prime, F2R. So the reason we need to do that is to resolve these centers. So wide R prime, F2R. And that was the first step of solving the last two centers, is to build this 2x3 block here on the left-hand side. So build this 1x3 line, and then build this outer 1x3 line. And then after that, all we'll be doing is solving these last three center pieces into this right-hand slot here. So again, to reiterate, to solve the last two centers, we focus on the front face and solve the middle 1x3, then an outer 1x3 on the left, and then we only use wide R and wide U moves to actually, wide R and outer face U moves to solve these last three. And this takes a little bit of practice, and you will find, you will need a little bit of trial and error to actually figure out ways to solve these last three centerpieces. So for example here, let's start out by trying to attach, say, an edge centerpiece to a corner centerpiece. So let's try and attach this one to this one. And we can do that by hiding this corner piece in the back here, doing a U to bring this one here, and then unhiding it. So now we've got these two attached to one another. And what we can do after this is attach this one to these two. And we need to figure out a way to hide it. So we can't hide it in the front. So we're always going to be hiding in the back, because if we hide in the front and then try to adjust the U layer, we're going to break up what we've already solved in the back here. So we're always going to be hiding in the back. Now, to hide this one, the best way to do it is by putting it in, well, there's two ways to do it. By hiding it, there's two ways you can hide it, from this position or from this position. If we hide it from this position, then that'll enable us to pair up these two centerpieces with this one. For example, here, if we hide it from this position, then there's no way we can actually move these two around to pair it up. So for example, here, if we move it there, then that doesn't do anything. If we move it there, it's just going to break it up. So we need to move it across to here, hide it away in the back, do a U prime to move these two across, then do a wide R prime. And now we've got this last 1x3 block, and we can easily place it into the front layer by doing a wide R, U2, wide R prime, like that. So just to go over that last two center method again, we solve the middle 1x3 on the front face, and then an outer 1x3 on the front face, and then move them over to this left-hand side. So we've got this 2x3 block on the left-hand side here. And then to solve the last 1x3 block, all we're going to be using is wide R and U moves, like so. And that's possible. It's possible to solve every combination of edge centers and corner centers using those moves. So here, for example, let's try and pair up this edge center with this corner center first. So hiding this corner center in the back, we always hide in the back, and then do a U prime to move this edge center from here to here, so that when we unhide this corner, we pair up these two. So that's the first step, is to pair up two. And then the last step is to actually connect the corner center to this block. And here we have quite an easy case where this corner center is already solved, and we can just bring it up like that to make this 1x3 line. And then instead of doing a U and then bring that back down and inserting it, what we can do is actually do a wide R to pair it up, and then just go straight into the U prime, so that when we bring it back down, these three actually come to the red face and it solves those centers. So after solving this front center, this top center will automatically be solved, so we don't even need to worry about it if we just focus on the pieces of the front center. Now that all of our center pieces are solved, it's time to pair up our edge pieces.